So if you just want to step on the tee, I'm going to give you 2 seconds. Can put it on. Right. So we're going to push the space bar.
Okay.
Come back on the tee. We'll come to the window.
Be prepared to be charmed, because Micheal can charm the pants off of anybody.
He has a big smile, and all his eyes will lit up. When he's listening to this and he heard me say Noni business, he will crack up. He understands what it means.
Walker.
Someone who loves to party, I guess. Passionate, go-getter, someone who loves to party. He's dedicated, and he stays true to his cause.
And he's fiery, and he has no problem demanding what he wants. It's who he is, and it did not take him long to find his voice.
My first impression of Micheal, when I knew him enough to have an impression, was that he is very driven. He wants to do something, he will do it.
Mike's had a lot of things thrown his way, yet he stands tall. He's a tall guy, but he stands very tall, stands very proud.
And Micheal is a black, gay Nigerian whose choice about who he loved got him kicked out of his house and sent to the street, and affected his education and affected a lot of life choices.
He's never satisfied with any level he is. He always feels things can be better, things can be improved, and that happens a lot with him.
But there are really 2 Micheals, I would say. And the one Micheal is the public Micheal, the famous Micheal, the Micheal who everyone points to and says, that guy. But then there's the Micheal who's my brother, and the Micheal that I think not a lot of people get to see.
So someone who's both overcome and lives with and is fueled by a life story that if the world were a better place would not have been his life story.
There's a lot against you. In Nigeria, they've got this Same-Sex Marriage Act. It's the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act. 15 years in jail if you're a gay activist, basically, is what it says. How do you live with that? How do you get up and go work at a gay organization when you know that the police could stop you and extort you, when you know that, especially if you don't have a lot of means, you're in big trouble if you're caught?
Working in Africa, our life always has been in danger. If you get caught, programming for XYZ and people know you're a gay man, you could be stoned. Even before the police will come there, somebody could stone you, the community could rally around you. We know that.
There are a lot of stories around, what actually happened, but we know that the basics was that he granted an interview, and that report got back to Nigeria, and so people read about it, and it just made it unsafe for him, and I think he was exposed to blackmail. I
don't think the reporter quite realized the damage they could do, but that impacted Mike's life back in Nigeria, whereby he was outed. Family sort of kicked him out. He had had death threats, and it was that call to say, okay, you got to get out of there. You got to figure out what you're doing.
We were talking about how big of a decision that was, and kind of the impact of it and what it really meant to leave your culture, your family, your friends. It was a difficult decision for him.
There was a fear that I sensed from him in terms of how he felt living there after that happened, and the need to get out.
When the whole Washington Post thing came out, I've never seen him devastated like that, even though he was able to build the strength to move on over time with the support around him. I think that was one of the vulnerable moments I've seen him.
There are people who actually plan to seek asylum before moving here, but many of us didn't because we just had to flee. And so there is that, feeling that you disconnected yourself from the life that you know and you have to start afresh, and it can be really challenging.
Not being able to go home would be a tough thing for him to grasp, because sometimes you just wish, I wish I could just go down to that canteen, or that my favorite spot of mine. And you can't.
Oh my God, I remember when he first moved down here and he said, brother, you know what, I'm dying, I just can't do this food here, It was just more like a cultural shock. You took the plane and you get here, the food changed, the accent changed. It was a lot for him to take in at a time. I remembered me and my partner Dan had to go out and buy a lot of African food, something that he's familiar with. And that was how we were able to deal with that period with him. Even up till now, we still cook a lot of African food.
Since we moved here to the US, he has shown a certain vulnerability, especially around his personal relationships. And so he's made, a few bad choices around like who's dating and, the dynamics of those relationships.
I don't hear from Micheal very often, but I usually hear from him when he's in love.
Yeah, this guy that he was dating, good-looking guy, and
Oh my God.
he was in love with him, understandably, because the guy is good-looking. But I think that he controlled the relationship. That's his partner, controlled the relationship.
As an outsider, just being a person who's there in Micheal's life, it was a very intense time for him.
He really wanted it to work, and he didn't understand why it wasn't. And like we all do, what did I do wrong? What could I do differently?
He was very vulnerable. He would cry a lot. He would be helpless in terms of, sometimes he knew the right thing to do, but he couldn't do it because, I guess the love was just crippling.
Those were the times when he would call me or text me at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and text me late at night. It's like, what are you doing? What's wrong? Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. And like crying on the phone, and just having somebody there, just like vent it all out, who's just gonna listen to you. I think it was that time that we became the closest.
He deserved way better. And I always told him, you deserve way better. You're not bad looking. You're a good looking guy. So you can get someone better. You deserve someone who's going to treat you better. And when he told me that he had called up the relationship, I'm like, yes, you deserve better.
It can be a little frustrating. I wouldn't say annoying. It can be frustrating when, as a third person, you see, some bad choices in those relationships, and, as a friend, you advise, but he's very strong-headed, so he's gonna do whatever he feels, is right for him. In the end, we all learn from our mistakes, and I think that he's gonna keep learning over time.
All of us, we've had limitations, especially Micheal. You can't do this. We've heard you can't all our lives. And coming from that kind of background where you're gay and you shy away from so many things, you keep bottling all your feelings. Freedom here for him most especially was to, I am not all of those things they said I am. I am a fabulous person. I'm an activist. I'm strong.
To me, like, if you're going to describe resilience, he's a perfect example of things going not so great, but taking those lemons and turning them into lemonade.
Micheal has no idea that he is as powerful as he is, that he carries such presence. It makes me very emotional to be this intimately involved in someone's life. Yeah, so.
What do I wish him for the future? Love and a family, and a cell phone data bill that doesn't make our finance department crazy.
Be happy with yourself. You've played your part. You've done a lot for your community and for yourself, so be content. In the end, as we say in Nigeria, only person will get life now go fit to do work. So if you don't take care of yourself, no one else will. So take care of yourself and make sure that you're content with all the great things that you've done.
Thank you, Mike. You have inspired me. You've inspired so many people all over the world. People you don't know, young people in Nigeria, you will never know. You are an amazing guy. You are a resilient guy. And I am honored to be your friend. I was honored to be with you in Washington when you got the award as the champion of change as a refugee. I was honored to be part of your family. And just want to say I love you.
Love you too, Kent.
I never have any doubt in your success and in your ability to do anything that you set your mind to. And I think the only person who doubts is you. But you never have to worry about anything if you need me, if you need help for anything. You should know that by now, and I know you do.
Keep your head up high and know that there are people who are rooting for you. And know that you matter.
We're proud of you that you have the strength, you have the audacity to challenge things that we couldn't challenge on our own. Thank you for being a baby brother. Thank you for being an activist. Thank you for being a voice for our community, the LGBT community from Nigeria, the LGBT community here in New York, and Africans around the globe. Even everybody from around the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I wish you well, and I'm praying for you, and I'll be drawing your ears when you're going wrong as your big brother. And stop doing Noni business. I love you so much.
I love you too, Alex. Oh my God. Oh my God, like I have no words to express how I'm feeling right now. I just want to give all of them a hug, and I love you all so much. Like, I'm just this young man trying to survive and trying to do the best I can do. First of all, to survive and to live the best I can. And I do not deserve all of that, really. I don't. Like, I don't really. And I'm just going to say thank you. And the work that we all are doing is to make the world a better place for every one of us. And I hope that we'll continue to do that. Yeah, I've made certain mistakes. I've done things that I shouldn't have done, like in terms of my personal relationship with. And you all were there for me, even though you always tell me, Michael, this is wrong, you should get out of it. But because, you know, when you're in love with someone, you never know what is wrong and what is right. And love just kind of blinds you and get blinded by love. And but I'm learning to be a better person. And thank you guys. Oh my God, this is just so much. I don't know, it's going to take me days to digest all of this. Oh my God. I didn't know I'm worth that much. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just, there's a lot of people who are doing much, much better than I'm doing. You guys are doing much more. And thank you, Oliver, and Noni, Kent, and Rahel, and my boss. You all, thank you very much, Oliver. I miss you guys, and I love you all very much. Thank you so much.